Hey, thanks for being a part of the conversation. Let's do it. Let's play it forward. Real people, real stories. The struggle to play it forward. Episode number 591 is with John Kelly from dictionary.com.
I'm doing great. How are you, Arrow?
Absolutely fantastic. I got to tell you, I am a dictionary.com fanatic. So much so that
I love to hear it.
I think I've become a bad speller because it's so easy to go to dictionary.com. I got to go look it up. I just got to see if I'm right.
Keep it up. Thanks for the traffic.
Well, I love the idea that you're adding new words. And, you know, there are many words here that I'm thinking, oh, my God, where does this even fit in my vocabulary? Now I understand what nil means. I mean, it's nothing, not zero. So it's like, wow, nil.
Well, that is one sense of nil if you spell it all lowercase. But there's another sense of nil that is an abbreviation. Think of it all written in uppercase, capital N, capital I, capital L. And this stands for name, image, likeness. And this has really broken through in the past couple of years as we have gotten to new understanding around money in college sports.
Yeah. Wow. Because having two definitions like that, why? You know, it's like they, there, and there. You know, I mean, it's kind of weird when. I mean, how does a student learn all of this if it's so, you know, if it's coming with two different definitions?
The English language doesn't make it easy for us. I'm going to tell you that much. It loves exceptions to rules. It loves words that sound alike but are spelled differently. It likes words that are spelled the same but mean different things. You know, think of light as in heavy and light in what you see. I think we should all trust ourselves as language experts. We are language beings, and we have within us just this incredible innate capacity to do language. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but dictionary.com likes to, you know, bring people in and embrace the messiness when it happens. But it is what makes adding to our dictionary difficult, and it makes maintaining our dictionary difficult as well. But we have a great team of lexicographers, dictionary editors who do it. One example of this in our update is the word hallucinate.
Okay.
You might think of the word hallucinate as when you have sort of visions of something that aren't real.
Right.
Well, this past year, we all saw AI break through in some new ways. And as we were starting to use things like ChatGPT, we found that sometimes they made stuff up, and we needed a term for it. And we didn't make up a new word. We used an existing one, and it was hallucinate. So our lexicographers have to notice this. They have to see it spread. Then they have to go to that old entry and add that to it. And that's what makes our work really kind of inexhaustible. The words just don't stop coming, folks.
You know what's really interesting is it was Mark Twain that said, you've got to be able to write and speak in your own tongue. He was very adamant in making sure that we kept our own accents. And that's what I like about dictionary.com here. You're allowing us to bring our culture to dictionary.com.
Absolutely. We think it's important that to be a good dictionary, we think it has to reflect and respect language as people use it. And a great example of this in our update is jawn, Jawn. This is a regionalism, and this comes from Philadelphia. It is a word for when you need to refer to someone or something, but you don't know what to call it. Like, hey, honey, can you hand me that jawn over there on the couch? It's, you know, a thingamabob or a whatchamacallit, but it has a Philadelphia flavor. And I love this word because of not only its usefulness and its playfulness, but I like the time at which we're documenting it. You know, more than ever, you know, we can kind of have a feeling of a flat culture, whether you're in Seattle or New York, or whether we're, down there in North Carolina or over in Texas. It can feel like we're all watching the same things and talking in the same way. And in a lot of ways we are, but we still have those things that make us special. Jawn is a regionalism that is like the word version of the barbecue debate, right? Do you like North Carolina style barbecue or Texas style barbecue? And I know the correct answer for your audience is going to be North Carolina, but Jawn keeps that flavor rich from Philadelphia. I love it.
Yeah. One of the things that drew a conversation between my wife and I is box braids, because she's sitting here with braids right now, and she says it already takes 3 strands to do braids.
Well, box braids is a great example of how we can provide in our dictionary a wide array of representation to cultural experiences and cultural phenomenon. And this is just one of many examples. So a box braid is a hairstyle that originates in Black culture. And you can imagine somebody's scalp and you can see a sort of grid on their scalp, and then braiding happens from there.
Okay.
And it was popularized, I'd say in the past, 5-10 years, as we saw the likes of, Beyonce really become a megastar. And as celebrities like that showcase hairstyles like that, the term for it spreads from one group into the mainstream, and it becomes more of a general term. And we see evidence for more people looking it up, and we need to add it to the dictionary.
Yeah. Here's something that we can all relate with: decision fatigue. This has to be a post-COVID-19.
This one is so resonant to me personally. I often get asked, what are some of my favorite words in an update? And I like to highlight some fun ones, but I also like to find some resonant ones. Decision fatigue is that feeling of exhaustion you get after having had to make so many decisions throughout a day, especially small ones. So you get up in the morning and you have to decide, am I gonna meditate or eat yoga, do yoga, or go for a run or lift weights? And then am I gonna take this road or that road? Or then I go to work and I got to respond to 9 gazillion emails. And then I get home and I got to go to the store. And I go to the store and I go, which of the 9,000 flavors of ranch dressing am I going to buy? I just want to relax. And you go to put on Netflix and you go, oh my God, I can't choose what I'm going to watch in this sea of options. And that is decision fatigue. And you're right. I think that word broke through, since the pandemic, and it's more relevant than ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, information pollution has got to play into that as well.
Absolutely. Information plays to that as well. Information pollution refers to the fact that, more than ever before, when we're coming across something online or in the news or wherever, some bit of information, we have to be on guard for whether or not, there's some falsehood in there, whether there's some bias in there, whether it's been sensationalized, whether AI wrote it. Okay. And that means the information gets really noisy. And we have to kind of clean that out. And that does add the decision fatigue, because we can't necessarily just trust everything on its surface in the same way in our digital world. As
a generation, we're really into, the way that we're living our lives, and we're all living together. Grand family best explains a lot of communities right now.
Absolutely. Grand family gives name to an increasingly common family structure. And that is when you have, young kids being raised and reared primarily by grandparents. As this becomes a more common family structure, we need words for these things. And so a word like grand family emerges and spreads and gets added to the dictionary.
Wow. Nepo baby. That was a big one last year. Oh, my God. I mean, what are you, a Nepo baby? The only reason why you got that is because you're a Nepo baby.
Yeah, that's a great definition for it. This was a big deal last year, and it remains a big deal.
Yeah.
A Nepo baby is a celebrity who's perceived to be famous because their parents were famous. This especially is applied to, people who come from famous Hollywood families. And the Nepo, N-E-P-O, that's short for nepotism, like when you show favoritism in a business to a family member. This is a great example of how fast words can sometimes spread. So Nepo baby kind of became a moment last year, spread on social media, and it rocketed. There were a lot of stories on it. We were using it, and it rocketed straight into our everyday vocabularies. So it can show how a new slang term can rapidly spread and be worthy of an official dictionary entry in a very short period of time.
Well, like I said at the top of the break here, is that I really enjoy dictionary.com. And I think what I love most about it is that when I go in there to figure out how to spell a word, it's already saying, do you mean this one? Do you mean this one? That's the one. That's the one I want. So you're so user-friendly with us at dictionary.com.
Thank you so much. We're here to help. We know that language can be hard, but let's not make that a point to push people away. Let's bring everybody in and have some fun while we're all all, pulling out our hair over the challenges of the English language.
Absolutely. John, come back to this show anytime in the future. The door's always going to be open for you.
Thank you so much, Arrow. I would love to be back.
You be brilliant, okay?
You too.